Zacharias was so overcome by this statement that he immediately discounted what was being said from the angel Gabriel. I don't know if he knew who Gabriel was, and I don't know how many of us can remember Gabriel, but Gabriel was one of God's chief angels, if you will, always going on an assignment to tell what the Lord wanted them to know. He wasn't just one of the lackeys, if you will. He wasn't just somebody who fly by night. When Gabriel stood up and made a noise, it's because God was on his way to do something. Amen. We understand that Gabriel knew how to blow his trumpet, and a trumpet that he blew. And really, it wasn't so much a trumpet, it was his voice that was a sound that carried across the universe and the nations, and it crossed from the spiritual realm into the natural realm, because he wanted people to know God is getting ready to make a move. Amen. Amen. The trumpet, the sound would not come unless God got ready to do what he had destined to do. Gabriel would not blow his horn. Gabriel would not be able to come in the midst of somebody else unless he knew that God was about to make a move. I'm excited to see this, because I see here that he made a move in Zacharias' life. But Zacharias discounted because it came from, well, not so much that it came from Gabriel, but it came at a time where he didn't realize that he could still have something happen in his life at the age that he was. Amen. Yeah, so it says to me that whenever God is doing something, you can't discount how old you are. You can't discount what your situation looks like. You can't discount how beat up you've been. You can't discount how bad you feel like your life has been. You can't discount all of these things, because when God wants to do something, he'll show up and he'll make a sound and a noise that you can't understand it. You don't know why it's coming. You don't know why it's happening for you at this time. And by conventional means and normal means, you can't see it happening in the natural eye, but you got to get the understanding that all things are possible with God. And without God, we are nothing. You got to know that God is up to something every time you turn around. Gabriel, if you listen real carefully and closely, Gabriel is blowing his trumpet and making a sound and a noise that will help us to see God is making a move. Amen. Zacharias had God's messenger in his midst and did not believe what he said. You can get a word from the man and woman of God, and because of how things have been received in times past by you, you didn't believe what God wanted to say to you now. Amen. Amen. Did that come out right? Don't give up on God being God in your life. It's going to cause you a lot of misery, hurt, and heartache, because when you see God making a move and you want to be a part of the move, you should have been a part of the move when God said to make a move. Amen. I don't know if I can say that again, so I hope y'all got that. Amen. God shows up, and in our very presence, and we're still waiting for our healing. God shows up in our very presence, and we're still praying that he does what he needs to do for our family. Amen. God shows up and ready to pour out blessings and let blessings overtake us and favor find us and yet we're still wanting God to show up. The problem with Zacharias and many of us is that we keep waiting for God to show up by our way and not his way. We keep expecting God to move because we know how he did it last year. We know how he did it 5 years ago. We know how he helped us and brought us out of darkness into the marvelous light, lift us up upon a solid foundation. We know how he did it then, but we can't see how he's doing it now. And when we try to see how he's doing it now, it's because of how we knew how he did it then. Amen. But God, here's something for you to love on and learn. That God is not always behind you. Really, he spends most of his time before you. Amen. Because he wants to bring you to that expected end.